A masterstroke behind the scenes. Hold on to your anxiety, because what happened today will redefine our future in 2026. First, a rookie defender is causing a real shockwave in practice. The kid is playing with such a thirst for victory and showing such absurd potential that the expectations around him are growing with each snap and could drastically change the dynamics of our entire defense. While this rookie is dominating on the field, a major move by the management may have sealed the fate of a veteran player who has been fighting tooth and nail for survival on the roster. The door is closed cruelly for him, and the reason behind this is something that caught everyone by surprise. And the big bombshell is this: a blockbuster signing has just completely transformed the future and development of one of our biggest prospects. Our general manager executed a brilliant strategy behind the scenes to groom this young talent, but this move generated a domino effect that swept through the locker room and shocked the coaching staff. But first, leave your like on the video. It's just a click, and it helps me a lot to continue bringing the truth about the Commanders to you. After months of intense speculation, the Washington Commanders added an all-pro to their wide receiver group. Stefon Diggs is back in his hometown in the Washington metropolitan area, and this is great for everyone involved. Diggs' arrival immediately changes the entire dynamic of Washington's offense. Where quarterback Jaden Daniels' offensive options seemed a weakness due to the lack of a proven number 2 receiver, now he has 2 reliable targets and a host of young receivers ready to step up. Among these young players, Antonio Williams in particular is in a position to benefit greatly from Diggs' presence, both on and off the field. There were some warning signs regarding the veteran's character, even beyond his widely publicized legal issues. Everyone knows the type of personality he has. He's a player who demands the ball and shows his dissatisfaction if he doesn't get it. Despite his 12 years of experience in the NFL, the former New England Patriots player is probably not the ideal figure to mentor promising players long term. But the situation changed last season. According to reports, Diggs stood out as a leader and mentor, being a role model teammate and making virtually no mistakes. If that same behavior shows up in Washington, Williams would do well to pay attention to every move he makes. The young receiver has raw talent and potential to grow. Now he has 2 high-level players to give him advice and guidance that can help elevate his game to another level. Learning from an experienced veteran could be a blessing in disguise. This means Williams won't be forced to take on a role beyond his current capabilities in his first season in the NFL. With the arrival of the All-Pro, the young player will also play a role closer to the slot receiver position. This is the position he feels most comfortable in, based on his college experience at Clemson. This should greatly ease his transition to the professional level. In the long run, this is exactly what a player like Williams needs to thrive. Diggs has a 1-year contract and will likely not return to Washington next season. At that point, the Commanders will rely on their 3rd-round pick to take the next step. If all goes according to plan, Williams should be ready to assume a larger role. This is exactly how you should properly develop a young player. The situation is completely different from last year when other receivers were rested. This time, Washington has signed a player who surpassed the 1,000 receiving yards mark and was the main option for a team that competed in the Super Bowl. And in 2027, it will be Williams' turn. In a single play, the Commanders' receiving group went from a weakness to a strength. The Washington Commanders achieved a remarkable feat by signing Stefon Diggs. This is a crucial addition to the passing game, which should greatly help quarterback Jaden Daniels. Unfortunately, there will be some significant collateral damage. All others, except for Terry McLaurin, selected for the 2nd All-Pro team, drop even further down the team's hierarchy. For Dyami Brown returning to the team, the situation is now even more precarious than before. He returned to Washington this offseason in a thrilling game after a year with the Jacksonville Jaguars. As expected, he showed a lot of potential during the summer, but Diggs' arrival may impact his prospects more than most. Brown is not completely out of the running for a roster spot. It will just be a bit more difficult to secure a place on the team and even harder to get the amount of passes he deserves. It all comes down to the approach of General Manager Adam Peters. Does he want to trust his promising young talents, some of whom he personally selected in the draft? Or does Peters prefer to rely on a bit more experience in veterans looking to revitalize their careers under the new offensive coordinator? The Commanders already have McLaurin and Diggs leading the offense. The performance of their careers is far superior to that of any player Washington has at its disposal. They are proven talented players, while Brown has never managed to have a consistent season. The receiver received a decent contract from the Jaguars last year, after finally showing signs of growth during Washington's memorable campaign. Just like in his previous stint, he started well, but his performance quickly dropped off. An uncertain future awaited him this offseason, but Peters was willing to give him another chance. Selected in the 3rd round of the 2021 draft, he believes he is now a different player. He has absorbed some tough lessons, and the added urgency of being in the mix for a spot is bringing a positive response. At the same time, talking is easy. He has always stood out in preseason training throughout his career. However, he has never managed to replicate the same performance when it really matters, And that will be the evaluation criterion again this time. Anything below consistency in the preseason will not be looked upon favorably for his chances. McLaurin and Diggs have guaranteed spots on the roster, which is obvious. Treylon Burks and Antonio Williams, selected in the third round of the draft, are also expected to have their spots secured. Assuming Luke McCaffrey and Jalen Lane are retained for their special teams ability, that possibly leaves one spot for the rest. Brown certainly believes in his chances. The same goes for Van Jefferson Jr., who caught attention in training camp. Jaden Bradley, an undrafted rookie, is the unknown, but all signs point to him having to settle for a spot on the practice squad. The signing of Diggs increases the pressure in more than one sense. It raises the level of competition, potentially makes the Commanders' offense a real problem, and reduces the number of roster spots. No one wants to be left out, and Brown will work hard to avoid that dubious distinction in the upcoming weeks. For him, it's now or never. The important thing is to focus on what he can control, performing well in practice, seeking growth, and making the most of every opportunity. The expectation surrounding Joshua Josephs is real and growing. Although he is still well behind in the team's hierarchy, those following the training are seeing flashes of talent that suggest the Washington Commanders might be on the right track. A local reporter is among those who are seeing significant positive signs. The former Tennessee star still has a lot to improve on, but he is already becoming a pleasant surprise, capable of playing a larger role than expected. And while there's still a lot of hard work ahead, he has the look of a true bargain. The rookie is still learning the professional game, but at the same time, it has been exciting to see him play and make good plays. Drafted on day 3, there are moments when you think he needs to learn. In some of his bursts, he opens up too much, but in others, the speed is impressive. What has excited observers is that he has also shown plenty of strength and aggression. Most pre-draft analysts believed he was still developing. Many projected him as a late second-day pick, but the Commanders selected him in the middle of the third day. This generates a lot of extra motivation for any player, and the promising rookie is not wasting time showing his worth. The excitement around rookies is always high at this time of year. Fans are always eager to support those who might become part of the team's long-term plans. But in Joseph's case, the performance in practice is living up to expectations. He is a complete athlete with speed and flexibility to navigate the defensive line effectively. Improving his discipline against the run game is the biggest challenge. He has the potential to become a complete player, thanks to his ability to drop back into coverage. Time is on the Commanders' side. They also have the personnel necessary to give him all the time he needs to make the necessary progress. The Commanders have enough resources in their area to integrate the rookie gradually if needed. Odafe Owe, Clavon Chason, and Durance Armstrong Jr. are leading the group. Charles Omenihu provides solid depth on the roster, and Josephs is also aiming for an important role in the rotation. Based on the first impression he made, he very well might achieve it. It's hard not to be impressed with him. He's a flashy player with an unwavering work ethic. He wants to be a great player and is always willing to learn. This doesn't always guarantee success, but it provides the ideal platform for him to become a productive player within a scheme that clearly suits his strengths. Obviously, there will be ups and downs. He is not yet a complete player, but that is precisely what makes his initial impact so exciting. Fans will discover more about what he can offer during the preseason. These opportunities will be crucial for him to secure a spot on the roster right away. He has everything ahead of him. It has been an outstanding debut in Washington, but he will not rush things. In any case, he could not be doing much more to solidify his position, and this is not going unnoticed by anyone. So, fans, after discovering how the signing of Stefon Diggs completely transformed Antonio Williams' future, understanding how that same signing may have sealed Dyami Brown's fate, and knowing that Joshua Josephs is causing a wave of enthusiasm that no one expected, which of these situations leaves you more hopeful or worried?